Welcome back to a very basic space program. Last episode we had Discovery, was it Discovery? Yes, Discovery 10. This is Discovery 10, that's right. We had Discovery 10 going past Ganymede. We had a sort of science mission around Phobos, but we won't talk too much about that. We got a mission completed. What I can tell you is that this one we did get the Ganymede flyby completed, so that's 750,000 more funds for us, which is really nice. Venus 1, Venus 2 are complete. One of them's going out onto the pad. This episode, we're gonna set off for Venus. I think that's what we're aiming for. But I just wanted to bring you back and show you this. So anyway, if you want to see what I'm looking at, please join me. Right, so what you can see in the background is a little speck there. I don't know if YouTube's compression algorithm and all that sort of stuff will actually show it. There's a little bit. There's Ganymede. If we spin around, we've got the sun there and the solar plane. You can see the little line there, and then you've got Jupiter, which we're heading towards reasonably quickly. What I'm actually doing is I've stopped transmitting. Oh, we need to turn that on. I've stopped transmitting the Jupiter science. So we actually stopped any of that transmitting. And I've been working my way through transmitting the Ganymede science because I just wanted to see how much we got. And we've got about 200 science. It's a lot more than I was expecting, actually. And I think partly it's because there was a lot of biomes on Ganymede. It's a large sort of moon. So we've got the cryovolcanic ice. We've got, what have we got? Just space high. We've got the Midlands, so it's nice and boring. It's low space. We've had a few different bits, but it's nice that you can get this range of different stuff here. So we're just going to work through those, and I'm going to speed this up. So you can see here I think we're going to be okay for the year. We've got plenty of electricity. We could have actually put less electricity on this craft. It's, once it's at a space, at a location, it's pretty stable, pretty okay. It's pretty much running, where are we? Where's our equipment? So you can see now that we're in the sphere influence of Jupiter, and it's got 2 experiments running. We can turn the others off if we wanted to. I'm going to leave them on though. Because we're just transmitting this, and you can see we're building up quite a lot of data for things like the magnetic scan. It's quite a large amount of data to transmit, so that will take time, and that will probably be backlogged considerably. And you do find this with a lot of the orbiters. You don't need to have the bandwidth to transmit everything as soon as you get it, because you know what, they're going to be in orbit for a while. This thing will leave the Jupiter sphere influence, but it's still going to be able to transmit. It's still going to have a signal for a year at least, and that will allow it to get rid of all this data that it's built up and stuff. So that's not a problem. We're going to just move time forward a little bit, see if we can get this Ganymede stuff out of the way, and just see what we've actually got there. We're going to go crazy spin now. That's brilliant, wonderful. Yeah, I love that. You can see we're building up data just because it's gathering so much from the sphere of influence of Jupiter. What have we got? So that's a big file there. The 1 megabyte file is a big one. Let's have a look. That's a lot there from the image spectroscopy. And that will take a while to go through. I'm not entirely sure. It's going to be 0 credits, it says, which is a little annoying actually, but you might get a partial credit potentially. What have we got? Unlocking. Oh, have we lost power? Is that what we've done? No, we haven't locked that. Avionics unlocked and saving. What have I got coming up? What's happening? Why have we got... because I've got a power warning because we are low on power. So what I'm going to do now is let's have a look. We've got 280 science off that probe. I think that probe has done well. We're going to do this. And what I will actually do is I'll set it to not warn me on the batteries or supplies, because this thing's just going to continue to transmit now as much as it can. You can see here, it's the drain it gets from the comms is significantly higher than we really like. Avionics we can actually shut off. We're never going to use the avionics again, so we're going to shut those down. That's going to save us. I could have actually shut them down as soon as we got into the sphere of influence of Ganymede, because we weren't doing any maneuvers. This thing is pretty much going to do a flyby of Jupiter. What we might do is I may, and I think we will. How long is that going to be? It's going to be in... Oh, it's going to be in an hour. Okay, so we'll do that then. We'll watch this go through. Let's see this approaching Jupiter and see how it goes. I think what we could do is, let's have a look. What are we looking at thingy? We could turn its comms off and see if we can gather any more data on the way there maybe. So we'll turn off that, disable that. How are we doing for... Yeah, we're going to get a bit more there. So we'll run this through then. We'll go through in the nice closeness of Jupiter. There we go, coming in nice and close. Oh, what's that? Well, that must be the shadow of a moon. So I wonder if that's Ganymede that we've just come from, and that's the shadow of it. That's really cool. I was going to say it's the big red spot, but it's not. You can see it chasing along the surface there. That is quite cool. We could put ourselves there just in the middle of it. Look at that. We just blank it off. There we go. It doesn't exist. Right. So we'll just let that go through. Jupiter, huge, huge planet. You can see we're actually still using electric up, even though we're doing that. And I wonder if that's because, have we got, yeah, so we've got, because we're in low space now, we're actually getting this cosmic science running and stuff, which is really nice. And we can keep doing that. This craft, of course, is not going to be coming back to Jupiter. It is a flyby. We decided to basically be a flyby instead of getting a capture. I don't know if we had enough Delta V to get a capture, but we are a flyby. We're only ever going to be a flyby. That's what it's sister craft Discovery 12. Well, no, it's sister craft. It's anti-nephew craft, I suppose it would be. Where's Jupiter gone? Anyway, it's done all of it's in the orbit. It's going to do the orbital stuff. It's going to do all that things. And so we're on our way out now. So yeah, that's it. That's done. I think we're just going to do that high space, so we can now come back over here. And we can turn back on our transmission because we don't really mind. We don't really care about the high space. We know that's going to get transmitted at some point. We know that the science is going to get done at some point. So I'm going to jump back to the space center, and we can do some sciencey stuff and launch some rockets. I think finally. So we have quite a few upgrade points from that. You can also see we're up to 600 science, so we've got a lot of science to spend. With that in mind, I'm going to put a chunk of them. We're going to put a couple in here. We're going to put one there and there, just to always keep the VAB build rate going up. But we're going to put the rest straight into here, get that R&D rate going up again. We'll probably invest in it as well. We've got 5 million almost on standby. Can we upgrade that? We cannot upgrade that yet. So what we are going to do is, right, let's have a look. I want to get this. So we're going to pay for this. There we go. That's that done. And then I want that. That's good. And then if we're getting that, we might as well get this. Which gives us level 8 tracking station, level 7 comms, which is nice. That gives us a nice long range. Right, what else have we got that we want? Well, we really do want probably to move science along. So we're going to get that. We're going to get the next level of science stuff. That's going to give us even more things. Yes, I could go for things up here. I could really push for like space station development, get all these parts. I've not really used those. I think we're going to do that separately. We're going to focus on getting some more probes ready and stuff like that. I really comment down below, please. And then I think we're really going to push with human flight. I think we're going to have to push with human flight once we've got enough science to get all of the human stuff. Right, so this is going to give me upgrades to all that. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get that as well. It's going to take that up there. It's going to give us quite a lot of savings. And then we need to think about power. What have we got up here? So we've got solar level 3 tech. That would be nice, but I don't have the science for it. So I think the next investments are going to be to get us up to these 100-watt RTGs and get us up to level 3 solar tech, I think. So that's going to be 116. We're going to need to upgrade for that. What does that give us? That gives us stat 19. It's not a bad little power source, is it? What does it do for us? It gives us 0.4 per second, and currently 0.04, and this gives us 0.25. Massive 1 out of 12. This gives us, yeah, this is a much better improved RTG. We could always then put a nuclear reactor on one of our craft, which, to be fair, we could put it on. We could put it on our satellites that are gonna. What's the life of it? I mean, intended lifetime 4 months. Is that it? Seriously? It's only got a 4-month lifetime. And estimated core life. Yeah, we're not using that, but that might be usable for the human craft that we are sending places. Although 100 kilowatts, is that enough? That's probably more than enough, isn't it? I'll have to have a look. That'd be quite interesting to send that on a spacecraft. I think to our crewed missions would be quite funny with a nuclear reactor on them. Anyway, I'm going to get this Venus craft ready, and I think we're going to launch something because we haven't launched something for a couple of episodes now. So yeah, to the launch pad it will be in 60 days or so. Right. So yeah, I will see you in but a few days. All right, we have about 2 days until the launch window. I'm actually going to launch Pathfinder Venus 1 early, just because I am always paranoid about launch windows and things like that. We've got a thing here. Can we just recover that, please? Because it's in the way. That must be the launch. Where are you? You're under the ground. That's interesting, isn't it? That's an interesting little glitch. I'm guessing that's the launch clamps from Discovery 14. And they've actually migrated on this thing because they would have been originally here on the launch pad, and now they're over here. So that's wonderful. How many of them are there? It's just going to continue to annoy. It's just going to stay there. We'll wait until they look like they're in the center of the Earth or something, aren't they? Right. So we've got some extra upgrade points. We're going to dump those into the R&D as well. Tech-wise, vessel-wise, we're just working on the Mars Pathfinders now. Everything else is built and ready to go, so that Neptune mission is ready to just be rolled out. I'm actually tempted to duplicate it and send a second one. Because I don't know, I suppose its next window is going to be in a year or something. Mars window is going to be okay. That Saturn has got a long time to go to get there. So Saturn, Uranus are on the way. So I think we're doing okay. After we've launched the Venus ones, I think I want to then have a look at, or at least one of the Venus ones, I want to have a look at Mercury possibly. Possibly Mercury. I don't know if we'll ever have the Delta V to land on there with our current tech, but we'll have a think about it. And we need to go back to the moon. I need to build something for the moon. So that may be the next episode. Right. So I'm gonna get into this craft. We're gonna get ready for a launch, and I will see you up on the launch pad. Right, so here we are on the launch pad, and we are pretty much ready to go. What I can see is that we are currently aiming at the ground, which is a problem. Can I control from something else other than what I'm currently controlling from? Because that's obviously not going to work for us, is it? What have we got in here that I can control from? Maybe something up here. Something. There we go. Something. That's an avionics unit. Where's my control from here? Control from here, is that there we go, we're facing upwards now, although we are on an odd rotation, which is interesting. So we're going to do something I don't normally do, which is I'm actually going to surface, I'm going to set the roll as well, which I've started doing because just some of the crafts are coming in. So this is on a 45-degree roll, is it? It's not even 45 degrees, it's weird. Right, so let's see, are we happy with this? I think I am happy with this. I think we're ready. The sun is going down on the Florida Space Launch Complex thing, or whatever we're going to call this. It's Kennedy Space Center, Johnson Space. I don't know what you want to call it. Cape Kennedy, Cape Canaveral, whatever. Well, I don't know what year we're in even anymore. Right. So I think we're ready. Everything's good, and this is going to go now. Of course, this is a loud rocket. There we go. Nice and loud. We have full light, we have go, we are up, we are rolling. That was a little bit of a vicious roll there actually, but we'll live with it. And I think we're ready to kick off, so I can actually jump this into a little bit more speedy weedy uppy. Because of course you've seen this thing go up before. It's probably carrying its heaviest payload, I'm guessing. I think this is probably its heaviest payload that it will ever probably carry. Because I think this is at its limit, but I'm not entirely sure. We may have quite a bit of Delta V left that I haven't accounted for. I'm just having a quick look down on the screen and going, yeah, there is a bit of potentially extra Delta V there, but we will see that when it comes to it. We'll have a look. We have a lot of Delta V on our transfer stage, primarily because I haven't changed the transfer stage from the one that we've used previously for some of the interplanetary sort of far out stuff. So that's again something that I could have refined that, I could have reduced it down a bit, but we've got the tanks already tooled at that size, so not a big issue, is it? We'll just do that. I'm going to pop this on, even though I use the heads up over here, it's always nice to have it, I find. So we need to get this down a bit actually. We're quite a steep launch profile right now. In fact, we need to go down a long bit. We need to get this down to 45 or below right now. We're going to get this turned over. Right, and I think we're going to be okay there. I'm going to put it on 25. Put it on 25. I can't remember if this craft, it's so long since we've launched a rocket that I can't actually remember if this craft is good or not at getting into orbit, or whether I have to coax it. I can't remember. Yeah, this thing is going really well. We're going to have a burnout now, are we? Fire that stage, get everything going. Are we happy? Yeah, we are. Look at that. That's lovely. So that's those engines, and then we've got this, and so this is that fairing there. So we're going to pull this down. There we go. Right, that's nice. We are doing well. I am enjoying this. This is a nice little launch. We're going to go to 0. We'll just stick it to 0. Get some Delta V in on this now. These are this is our basically our. I've just remembered. This is like our Proton clone, but with American tanks, I think, pretty much. Without the Proton sort of styling, which I think is quite cool. I do think the Proton styling is quite cool. I seem to remember that it's got side tanks that it has, so they could be transported on rail cars. I can't remember. Maybe that's something else. I don't know. It's one of those interesting things about rockets, about you think about, oh, we'll just build the perfect thing, but actually you've got to transport it around the country and things like that. So it's like Was it something like the tanking for the space shuttle was designed to fit on a barge that would go through a canal and things like that and all that sort of stuff? And I know SpaceX, when they were looking at Starship, I know they were looking at different sizes, and I think the Falcon 9 is designed the size it is because it allows it to go down roads, and any bigger than that you can't put it down a normal highway without doing X, Y, and Z to it and things like that. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Oh, we could actually get rid of that fairing, couldn't I? There we go. Just get rid of that. That's nice. Right. So we're just going to go up, and you can now see the craft on the top there. This is, of course, the Venus craft, and you got a glimpse of it in a previous episode when we were taking to bits, but we have our basically the Mars Pathfinder up stage section. We have the transfery stage there, or the orbital capture stage with the transfer stage down here, and then we've got this bit here which we'll get onto when we get around Venus. Hopefully that will come into play, but we will see. We'll see how that is going to go. Do I need to put a bit more angle on this? I think I probably want to. We're going to put it up to 15. Just get up to 15 now. These stages have decent thrust to weight, if I remember rightly, so it's not going to be a big issue with us. Really, you can see we're just holding the apoapsis there at 29 seconds, so we can actually drop that down a bit, just a little bit. There we go. I'd rather have us getting closer to our apoapsis than getting further away right now. An apoapsis of 170 would be 75 would be perfect. I think we're actually going to potentially be below that, but we'll see. We'll see. We could keep climbing. All right, let's have a look. I think we can go up a bit. We can't do that almost. Thank goodness for the safety features that have been built into RP-1, because that's an old school error there. So we're going to disable that, fire that, get that engine going, avionics are unlocked, get the RCS on, because of course this stage uses... Does this stage use RCS for this? No, it does not. Okay, that's fine. I'm thinking of the other engines. Because of course we have some of the engines we've used before where they used RCS to do most of their work, shall we say. Right. Looking at our inclination is dropping down nicely. Time to our apoapsis is now in the negatives, so I need to get this going up a bit more. We've got, what's our thrust to weight? Our thrust to weight is about to hit 1, so that's not a big issue. We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back. I think maybe just a little bit more angle. We'll go 25. That'll be nice, won't it? That'll just slow it down a bit. You see, I want to keep these times close to each other. Ideally, bringing the apoapsis back to that time there, so that there's 0 difference. So apoapsis is on 0 would be perfect. I could have the thing telling me the vertical speed. You can see I'm looking up here. We are dropping, but that's slowing down a little bit. I feel that's slowing down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we definitely. I think we're definitely going to be okay on this one. This is where it goes horribly wrong. It's going to go horribly wrong. I can feel it. I'm being too cocky right now. Right. So that's the RCS on this. And that's the decoupler. So that's going to RCS it, then those are going to engage, then we're going to decouple, and these RCS are going to kick in. Okay, that's fine. I get it. That's wonderful. Why have I not got those on? Interesting. Oh, there we are. We're now going too far, and then we've got to have a look at this. So my heading needs to go up like that a little bit. Bring that back down just a smidgen. I'm going to bring this down to... No, we've got time. I'm going to pull the heading up a bit more. I want to bring this down just a smidgen more before we zero it out. And I could actually just put that up a bit, but yeah, we just do a couple of little pointers. We're going to drop this down to there. We're going to pull this on to 0. I'm going to pull this down 1 notch to there, and I think we're about ready to hit ourselves into orbit. Is this tank going to have enough? I hope it is. It's going to be tight, possibly. No, I think we've got it. I think we've got it. That's okay. And there we go. We kill that. There we go. I think it's not a brilliant orbit. We are in orbit, but it's not a great orbit, shall we say. And then we're going to put the RCS on and just give myself a little push away from that. Just a small... Oh, we've got a pause. There we go, as it thinks. Right, there we go. Right, now, the difficult bit, we're going to do well, I said difficult bit, the transfer. So we're going to maneuver planner. Here we go. Let's go advanced maneuver planner to another planet. Now we need to target the Venus, because we're currently targeting not Venus. Wow, look at that. There is a lot of stuff just flying around. You know what? Can I just get rid of that? Yeah. We have a lot of, like, what's that? 35, 36 different craft, like, on paths to different places. Now we've got Discovery, Jupiter. That's going to go out there, is it? I need to go through and actually identify which ones are dead and which ones are not dead and things like that, and actually bin them because they will be taking up a lot of shall we say, runtime. Right, ASAP, create node. That's going to go in 52 minutes. It is a 300 meters, but yeah, that's more than we can cope with. That, sorry, less than we can cope with. We got oodles and oodles of stuff. Right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to warp towards that, and yeah, then we'll get this. There we go. Venus probe as batteries. Right, now why I'm thinking what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to control it from here. I'm going to control it from up here because that's where I want to control it. Control from here. There we go. That's better. Primarily because I think at the moment we're controlling from possibly this, and when we decouple this, it'll go all a bit chaotic-y. So there we go. We want to go to the node, please. Thank you. I'm not entirely sure why it's pulled us out of... Oh, it pulled us out of warp because of what was going on. So what I'm actually going to do is we're just going to let it spin a bit, and then we'll bring it back out about here. And it's going to put us on the node. Okay. Wonderful. Wunderbar. And hopefully this will not have ruined our stuff. We are changing our apopsis and periapsis by doing these control changes though. So that's potentially going to impact this. So what I might do is create node. There we go. That's better. It's going to be better, right? And then we're actually going to I'm going to execute it. Yeah, I'm going to execute it. Let's see if it'll do it for us. We'll see. You know, Pathfinder Venus 1. We're going to see if it can actually do it for us. So it's auto time warp should be on. Is it gonna do it? Is it gonna go into time warp? Is it going to? It's not. It does not want to. Okay. We'll force the time warp then. Okay, we'll go past that. Wonderful. Time warp has been cancelled with 8 minutes to go. Interesting. Oh, there we go. We got time. Okay, right. There we are. Now we're going from a high point, which is good because we're not going to dip into the atmosphere too much. I am ready on the engage engines thing doodle. We're actually late. And I've noticed it does that. We're going to, yeah. Fire the engines. We are good. Right, so now we've just got to hope that these RL10s don't mess up. One of the things I should probably do, what we'll actually do is we'll do a physical time. There we go, there's the carrier stage going past. We didn't hit it. I should have checked we weren't going to hit it. One of the things I should really do is actually spend some science points on operating these, because we are using them quite a lot. And then also, oh, thank you for that, it's wonderful. We could also get some bigger Hydrolox engines, which might be really useful for us. The RL10s, the early ones, particularly have a habit of breaking. They're almost like Russian engines in many ways. You really have to get the data into them to get them to be reasonably consistent. Particularly with this, with having two, we've basically, it's not even just double the chance. Both of them have to run to a completion, otherwise neither of them is good. So you're compounding your problems really, completely. So there we go. So let's see. Can we go a little bit? Faster? There we go. Just get that going up. Yeah, there we go. Right. So this is it's quite a long burn. This is the only issue I have with the Hydrox. You can see we're going to have about over 1,000 meters per second left in this because we just have extra fuel on board. I think we're not using. I don't think we're using this RCS yet. No, we're not. So we can use this RCS to do some of our maneuver changes. How have we got? Yeah, we've got half of that in the tank, which is good. So we can do a bit of maneuvering around with this and refining it. Then we'll engage this thing and let it do some of its work. We don't want to stay attached too long. These RTGs are enough to power this whole thing. We've got a bit of solar panels hidden away as well that we can deal with, which is nice. It gives us options. The plan is that this is going to capture us around Venus. Once that is captured, then we will detach this section here, okay, and this section here will then reposition itself. We may actually do it. I haven't decided how I want to do it, okay, but what I think is, depending on what we'll decide based on fuel sort of left. We may try and get into a lower orbit. We'll see what's going on. I want to leave some fuel in these tanks because the idea is this is going to basically put this onto an intercept with the Venus atmosphere is the idea. That's the plan. And then it will parachute through it. I don't know if it'll work or not. It's a very sort of odd design. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. This thing has a little transmitter for that, but we will see. We'll see how it goes. It's a hope. It's a hope more than an expectation. And I do not have a good history with Venus. It's a bit like the Russians. I keep trying, but I just don't do it. I just don't do well. Any suggestions down below would be good. I know a lot of people say pancake shape, and I've gone pancake shape there, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. You get a lot of heating built up, and you want to capture it on that one. So yeah, there we go. Right, here we go. Speeding on through. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Almost get. I'm going to speed up at the last second because I'm impatient. I'm impatient. Right, off we go. Come on. We should have escaped the sphere of influence. We should be on an escape trajectory now. We've used enough delta V, haven't we? Yeah, we should have just about used... There we go. So now we're on the escape. Now I'm going to slow it down a bit. We've got 200 to go. The engines are even more efficient. This is wonderful. Superb. Right. Off we go into where we need to be. And then we can do some little maneuver nodes and tidy this up. There we are. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. 20, 20, 10, 20. There. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to dump some fuel before we get to this point. So I want to dump liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen because it will make the RCS a little bit more efficient. Now I'm probably going to regret doing this because I'm probably going to want to have used those engines because we're going to be completely miles off and I'm going to need like 500 meters per second of delta V. But I'm going to lose them anyway. The liquid hydrogen itself will, you know, is not going to be of much use to us. There we go. Oh, it's having trouble, isn't it? It's having a lot of trouble now because we're very heavy on the head. So let's just stop that. Let's just stop that. There we go. Right, and you know what? I am actually going to decouple that there. Now, have we turned on our avionics? Can I get at my avionics is the next question, isn't it? Can I turn this on? Right, where's my avionics? Activate avionics. There we go. Wonderful. Right. All that's turned off. Wonderful. So we're not actually orientating anywhere. Right. Do we have an interaction? Focus view. I don't think we do. Don't think we do. Right. So we're now going to have to do a little bit of playing around ourselves with this. So we're going to use this probe to do its little tidy ups, shall we say. So we're going to do it about what's about here. So we're going to add maneuver there. Right. What I want to do now is focus on Venus, or at least focus on that closest approach, which is going to be this one here. And we're going to go and do this. We're going to do a little bit of move that to there. We've got a bit of that there. I want to do a bit of that. It's going. That actually gets us closer. That gets us very close. Right. That's how close has that got me with that 2 meters per second? That's not normally that easy. Right. Let's have a look. So can I do a little bit more, maybe a bit of that's moving away. So we're getting it nearby. How close can I get is the question. Right, here we are. We're going to get this here. I really would like to be in the plane, but I don't think I'm going to be, am I? It's going to be polar. Yeah, it's going to be polar. Is polar terrible for us though? Is the question. Is polar going to be terrible? I don't know. I don't know if polar is terrible for us in this instance, because it does mean we're going to have comms potentially at better angles. I don't know. Now this is going to cost me delta V, isn't it? Oh, this is going to be annoying. We've got a nice intercept, but now I'm trying to refine it, and it's gonna. This is the bit that's going to cost me all of the energy. Yeah. A bit of that. There we go. Now, what about a bit of that pulling it? Yeah, you see, you're playing off constantly with these bits, you're trying to walk it closer. How close do I want to get is the question with this. I want to be close, actually. That's the thing. I suppose it does mean we could potentially go for like a polar landing, if we're going like a pole landing, which I have not done before on Venus, which would be quite cool. What if we just do that? No. I suppose we could. I suppose I could just do that and then rotate it around a bit and give me at least some angle. That's a little too close, actually, by the way. I just point that out. We're actually in the atmosphere there. What are we doing here? That's 800. That's not a nice 500. I'd like to go closer. I'd like to skim the atmosphere if I'm honest with myself. This way? Yeah. But that is going to take a bit of delta V, isn't it? That I like. That is very close to atmosphere, though. In fact, it might be over atmosphere. No. Do we do a bit of that and then a bit of? That's sensible. That puts me nearby. Okay. So that's 75, and then how much are we actually looking at for a capture from there? How much for a capture? That's a lot. There we go. Right. For the capture, that would be not as much as I thought, actually. Okay. That's we can capture there easily with that first stage, actually. Close that. We're actually going to I'm going to execute the next node. We're going to actually get the oh, hello. Where's the probe one? There we are. We're going to get the craft to do it for us. That's how lazy we are in this episode. And once we've got this set up, I think that will be the end of the episode. I think I'm not too worried about much. I'm trying to cut the length of the episodes down because I think 50 minutes is a long slog for an episode. I know I was putting one out a week while we had the March to Orbit on. Now we're doing two. It is a long slog for me as well. So I think we'll either go to 1 week or we'll stay at 2 a week, but with shorter episodes. So I think that's what I'm aiming for. Would you prefer one longer episode a week, or would you prefer 2 shorter episodes a week? I think that's probably the information I would love to get back from you today on this. Right, here we go. And I'm going to activate these engines when we need to, once the old RCS has got us stable and everything's good, right? So it should be doing it now. There we go. And then we're just going to fire the engine. So that, woohoo, yay. That's a nice fire there. Now, am I getting, yeah, see, look, this is doing it again. I think this craft at the top, I think, has got something off center. But I have not been able to figure out what it is. So you've got one tank there, tank there, tank there, engines there, this transmitter, and then you've got 3 RCS, 3 of those. But if you can see, there's always, and you can see there's always some sort of torque somewhere. So there is something acting up, and I wonder whether it's to do with the collider on this or something interacting with this tank. I don't know. There is a phantom force in this design that I do not understand. Right, let's have a look. How are we doing? How are we doing? It's got me close, has it? Okay, that's it's a little too close. We'll just what we'll do is we'll just do a little bit of bit of that, maybe. Is that going to work? Yeah, there we are. Right, bit of that, bit of that, bit of that, bit of that. I want to go to about there. I'm happy with that. Right, so what we'll do is we'll aim to capture into a polar orbit, and then what we'll do is we'll try and plan. And what I'm actually looking at here is the problem is if I release a craft, it's going to go through there. It's going to land on the dark side. That's horrendous, isn't it? That is a problem. Well, we'll figure that out when we get to it anyway. We'll figure that out. We might have the delta V to actually slow it right down and make an easier catch. We'll see what goes on. But we will at least have a comms relay that's going to be in polar orbit, which will be okay. I don't really mind that. And we'll sort that circularization out. So there we go. I think we're done. And I've just realized something. I should have taken the mission for landing on Venus. Oh, what a mistake to make. Because you have to have a new craft for that. Right. So next episode, we're going to launch the Pathfinder 2. And maybe that one we will actually take the contract before. But from me, until next time, have a great one.